Hi there, everyone. There's been a really overwhelming response to my WeakAuras, so I decided to do a bit of a video and tell you guys more about it and how it sort of came to be, and I guess how it's going to work and how it's going to go in the future and everything like that. I just noticed my freaking ring doesn't work anymore, which would be right. So let's just have a look at basically what the setup's going to be. I have a couple of other WeakAuras here as well. I've got a proc WeakAura, which my lovely partner has made, and I also have big buffs in relation to time warp, ring uptime, and everything like that as well. So they're separate WeakAuras. I might pop them up on my profile on the WeakAura website just so you guys can grab them. The procs are related to every trinket and every current potion and every weapon enchant proc as well, so you're aware of what's happening, what's procced, if that's relatable to you, I guess. So let's sort of talk about what we're going to use for our Holy Priest WeakAuras here. So I've been playing Holy for quite some time. I'm always swapping between Holy and Disc. For Prog, I was Disc, but I'm thankfully had the opportunity to go Holy before pre-patch, and now play Holy through the Legion and possibly Disc as well. So pretty excited about that. Now, what we have here is just your basic setup as well. So up the top here, this is our priest HUD. So this is what you can see here. So we have just that top component there. Here we want to focus on our two big spells that are affected by serendipity, which is Serenity and Sanctify. So we've got those on the left and on the right. Nice and big, nice and easy to see because I'm never going to be looking at my little fucking hotbars at the bottom for that. Another big thing where people, which is going to be pretty huge if you don't have the legendary cloak come Legion, is Spirit Redemption timers. People who want to B-res you aren't going to be looking at that, especially now Angel Form is substantially longer if you're taking the Afterlife talent. So we want to make sure that we know when we're dropping out of Redemption, when people can B-res us. People aren't, if they're DPSing, aren't really paying attention to that or tanking. So we just want to make sure that's a thing. So I always like to know and let people know vocally when I'm dropping out of Angel Form, if I've been bad or if I've lagged or done whatever. Other things I'm tracking in the HUD are prayer of mending, super important, especially with that artifact come Legion. We want to make sure that shit's on cooldown, especially since fully talented, you got things like holy mending, and it say your prayers, so it's not consuming charges. Things I want to make sure of is we are tracking where our charges are located because we can have collisions. We can't really afford that. Avoid that. So still, I like to track where it is, and I use Voodoo to do that. Same with all my hots. Echo, Renew, which is a piece of crap, but got to track it anyway. Next over, I have Apotheosis. So what I've done with Apotheosis is underneath, as you can see at the moment, we have an Apotheosis timer. So when Apotheosis is active, we have the ability to look at how long it's gonna be on for, and then of course a CD timer in the middle. I'm pointing at my screen, I'm sorry. I should be pointing with my mouse. There we have located Circle of Healing and Benediction. So basically, I know Benediction's a passive talent, can't really track that as such. So I've popped it there as an icon just to remind me that I am using Benediction and I don't have to mash any other button or anything like that. I've seen a lot of people use Enduring Renewal and Benediction in certain raid fights in testing, and it can be possible and probable to use. I'm not going to get into that argument now, but it's there anyway, just in case Renew ever gets buffed again. Then, of course, we have Divinity. So every time we cast Holy Word, we get Divinity, which is an increase in healing. Now, we may not always go Divinity, so of course we have a Divine Star and Halo, which will replace that as well. Next one over we have is Light of Touré. So that is something that's coming in Legion with our artifact weapon. I thought it's slotted in now since there was nothing important I thought would go there. This is something that we get 2 stacks off, put on a target, increases healing, also puts a small heal on them as well. I have mentioned that I will be updating these to include potentially the increased prayer of healing from a Sanctify cast, and also when our Naru pet spawns, just in case you sort of really want to maximize your HPS, I suppose. And of course, also the crit golden trait as well. I forget what it's called, something too, right? You get little pretty Naru wings on your back and you get increased crit. We're looking, that's a 15% proc chance, roughly, as it looks and what logs have told us. So looking at getting an indication of that. So I'm probably going to look at putting that in come Legion when people are starting to unlock those talents. It was a little bit more difficult to sort of work that stuff in because I might be doing an aura similar to what my old Serendipity aura looked like, which was 2 bars on the side of my character. Might have some little wings there. What I used to have, probably my old Archangel WeakAuras as well. Something like that. Alright, so that's enough talking about our HUD here. So next we're going to talk about the CD bar at the bottom. So let's just get them both back up. And we're looking at the Holy Priest CD here. So there's not much here. I actually added a Leap of Faith one in yesterday, and I didn't add it to the website. I will pop that back up. But here we're actually looking at just our major CDs. So what we're going to look at is Divine Hymn, obviously. One thing I haven't tracked is probably the 10% increase healing after Divine Hymn. I'm probably just used to the timing of that, so I don't particularly need to do that. I'd rather just track the 3-minute cooldown. Then we have Guardian Spirit, Symbol of Hope. I believe it's called Symbol of Hope. I just call it Symbol. That is our innovate to every healer. Then I've got Leap of Faith, Desperate Prayer, Fade, and of course our Healing Ring, which is probably going to be a little bit redundant come Legion, but I'll probably just update it to be removed and may add something else in there, pending how I see those other talents fitting into the WeakAuras set. But that's pretty much it. Other things like really to note, if there's anything missing from these HUDs or anything like that, I do use Voodoo to heal, so as you can see, I use shift right click binds. I track all my HOTS and stuff through it. And you probably will see a little bit more of that through other videos because I am going to do one on our Disc Priest and Resto Druid as well, which are other WeakAuras I've done. There is potential for me to do other WeakAuras. I have seen some really good Shaman ones out there, so I don't particularly want to go ahead and like undo all the work those people have done. I only just like to do ones that can be improved a bit, and of course a lot more visually appealing and also simple. There's nothing worse than having WeakAuras all over your screen and not knowing what's going on. I always like to track the most important things that is relevant to my healing. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope this has been a bit useful for you, and cheers, thanks for that.